Well, I know some of you might be wondering, with the feeling of mourning we're experiencing here in the congregation with the passing of Cindy Tracy, what could this possibly have to do with the Epiphany, this Epiphany Sunday? To tell you the truth, this is the perfect Sunday because of what we're feeling. Cindy would have understood. You see, Epiphany is all about a child and being led by a star to that child. And in her role as church school director, Cindy was all about the kids. In fact, she and I used to joke from time to time when I was back in the workroom and we were working on what we were going to present to the kids, that in the Bible there are some very violent and gory parts. And kids absolutely love the violent and gory parts. But more than that, today's gospel, it leads to such a horrible part because of Herod. But kids also love, in the Bible, the parts where kids get gifts. What possibly could be better than the story of the three kings? In fact, the Feast of the Epiphany, I don't see Pastor Wanniker yet this morning, the Feast of the Epiphany is a big deal for kids in many different countries. This Epiphany that we commemorate today, which happens around the world in many cultures, brings the joy of welcoming strangers and guests and turning away from the Herods of the world in many Spanish-speaking countries. El Dia de los Mujeres is a bigger day than Christmas itself for our children. And in fact, in these communities, the three kings are the stars. On the night of the 5th of January, instead of stockings being hung by the chimney, kids leave their shoes out, stuffed with straw. And it's not Santa who comes in the middle of the night, leaving the children presents. No, instead it's the three magi who come bringing gifts to the kids, just like they gave the baby gifts in honor of Easter. You see, the straw and the children's shoes is for the wise men's camels. And how often in Scripture do you hear us talk about camels this morning? And those straws are for the wise men's camels to eat, and Cindy would have appreciated this for sure. But most of all, there are things in the Epiphany story that really were part of her work with our youth and young adults. The fact that these three wise men, after meeting baby Jesus, these three wise men actually meeting the baby Jesus, they knew they would go home by another way. One of my favorite writing colleagues is Reverend Barbara Brown Taylor. She penned a book by the same name, Home by Another Way. And to paraphrase what Barbara said in that small but packed book, she pointed out that there isn't any historical facts we can really say about the wise men. We don't know if there were 3 of them or 10 of them. We don't know where they came from other than somewhere from the east. We don't even know if they were really kings. It's just that they were wise men who were fixated on the sky. Everything we know about them is from folklore. So Barbara decided to imagine these stories as 3 wise men. And the story she told was this: each man felt unfulfilled in his leadership and in his worship practices, and not feeling his purpose in life. One day, each of them developed a small star in his bright eye. Each of them noticed a similar star in the sky that had been the portent of a great king. That's what it was meant to be. And each of them left their wives and their homes and headed for it, bearing a precious gift for the new leader when they found him. On the journey, each wise man literally bumped into the other, as if by some divine design. And each wise man noted the stars in the other's right eye. They decided to journey together. Heading towards Jerusalem, which is where you want to expect to meet great kings and authorities. And instead, they found a conniving, murderous Herod who sent them off to Bethlehem to do spy work for him about the baby he planned to kill. Finally, they searched in Bethlehem. They came to the place where the star fell. Their arms were full of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. A colleague of mine once pointed out that if the three wise men had the three wise women, they would have brought Mary lots of daggers and a few casseroles. But these were the three wise men. And Barbara Brown Taylor writes, with their arms full of gifts, they crowded into the small streets, bumping their turbans on the rafters and snagging their robes, their rough furniture. All they could see was the baby, who was not afraid, and in whose right eye shone the same star we had seen in the sky. It was he then, whoever he was, that was the king they were meant to come. They got on their knees and they worshipped him. Then they gave him the things that they brought him. All the wrong things they could see now. Things that he had no use for. The child's parents were gracious. They thanked the farmer for the gifts. And then the wise men, complete alarm, the child's mother picked him up and handed him around, so that each one of them held that soft, damp, living weight in his arms. Then she shook him, nursed him, until they all fell asleep. In the morning, the wise men could not find their stars anywhere. They looked at all the corners. The baby's mother even shook out his blankets, but then the wise men said, never mind. They didn't need them anymore. They had found what they were looking for. And they could not lose that. All three of them had a dream that had said, steer clear of Jerusalem. Besides, none of their old maps working. They would find a new way. They lined up in front of the baby to thank him for the gifts he had given them. That's not a bad. What in the world are you talking about? The first one said, I thank him for this first home of love here. The second said, for holding baby flesh. This Magi had never had an interest in children before. And the third, for a really great story, who thought that telling it impressed people back home more than the hot coals he used to walk on to draw attention to himself. And then the wise men trooped outside, stretched, kissed the baby goodbye, and went home another way. It had been a while they were there gazing at the baby that they experienced what we call an epiphany. A moment that God touches the inside of our very soul, truth, and wisdom. For these three wise men fell to their knees and paid him homage, paid homage to Jesus. Homage is the fourth gift and most important gift of theirs, for it acknowledges that Jesus is a gift to all humanity. We're talking about us being gifts on Christmas. And Jesus was the gift to all humanity, whether foreign or outsider or another religion. The wise men returned home, changed them. And that's what epiphanies do if we let them. As at least Ballard, author of the book Epiphany, says, that an epiphany is a moment of sudden or great revelation that usually changes your life in some way. If the moment hasn't changed your perspective on what you've been thinking of, probably it wasn't. You see, that is what Sydney Church set the stage for in the lives of our children here in the First Church. Being a kid these days is not easy. It's not like it was for us. They live in a dark world where bullying and judgment pursue them, not only in school, but it follows them home through social media. They live in this time of uncertainty without the life experience we have to assure them that things will get better. But by introducing our children to the love and gentleness of Jesus, that's how we help with the star of Bethlehem, not just in our child's eyes, but deep in our soul, so it can shine like its cup. Our children may have come to church on a rocky road, but through people like Cindy, they go home that way. A way where they are fully loved and respected. That's what Cindy comprehended. She used her creativity to give them a GPS, a God positioning system, to get home each day of their lives. The prophet Isaiah says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you see it? I'm making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland, even in the midst of our sadness." Right now, we realize what comes next. How will you help keep this legacy going while you sweep up the Christmas tree tables and put away ornaments the next day? What light do you choose to follow? And now the Christmas cards behind you. What path will you pick for your journey? Take that glow from Cindy's manger story and place it in your heart. It will guide you.